Hello and welcome back to Greg's Game Room. Now today I want to review something that's video game related but not necessarily a video game, and that would be this book, which has given me back spasms ever since I bought it because it's so incredibly heavy. It's Pac-Man Birth of an Icon by Arjan, Terpstra, and Tim Lapetino. Now I had the privilege of interviewing Tim a couple of weeks ago at Free Play Florida, and yeah, it was good. It was very, very interesting. All of the different things that he went through to get this book published. So this is actually the deluxe version of the book, and it has a little bit more to it than the regular version. And here is the actual book outside of the case. This is what you would get as the regular edition instead of the deluxe version of the book. Here is me opening the book for the first time. Okay, here it is, Pac-Man Birth of an Icon. This is the deluxe edition of the book, and as you can see, I still haven't taken off the plastic, and it's reflecting my light there. Ooh, it's kind of like a ghost. Ooh. As you can see on the back, there's really nothing to it. You can see the Pac-Man maze, and on the side we've got Pac-Man Birth of an Icon by Arjan Terpstra and Tim Lapetino. Alright, let's slide this thing out of here. Oh no, it's glitched! We're glitched! It's too big, it won't fit in the frame. Alright, so what do we have here? Of course, it's all glitched. This is just kind of like the box that the book is in, and we'll see what this red thing here is shortly. I don't even know. I don't know anything about this deluxe edition, aside from the fact that it's got stuff in it. So let's slide this out of here. Oh, look at that. Pac-Man, Birth of an Icon. Alright, so we got the book itself, which I'll go ahead and look at in a little bit. Alright, so what do we have in this little red section here? This is kind of like the bonus features. You're only going to get this in the deluxe edition of this. So what do we have here? Looks like we got the Pac-Man Fever, Buckner and Garcia. The official reissue of, I think this is a record. Let's see, let's check this out. Man, I haven't had a record in many, many years. Look at this. This is pretty cool. Oh, we got the before the power pellets on that side, and the after the power pellets on the other side. That's cute. Let's see what we have here. Oh, it's yellow. We got a yellow record. That's cool. I don't know if you can see that, but it actually is a record. So I guess I could put this on a record player if I had one, which I don't, and I could play it. That's a neat collectible. What's on the back? Oh, we got the whole lyrics of the song right here. I've got a pocket full of quarters and I'm headed to the arcade. I don't have a lot of money, but I'm bringing everything I made. I've got a callus on my finger and my shoulder's hurting too. I'm gonna eat them all up just as soon as they turn blue. Don't copyright me, YouTube. And then right here we have a coin. This looks like a token from an arcade. Pac-Man, what does that say on the bottom there? No cash value. Yeah, I remember tokens like that from the arcades. They always say no cash value because you know you can't spend it outside of the arcade. Oh, and the other side it says token with a ghost on it, and that is so tiny I can't even really read it. Yeah, this looks nice. And then over here we got some dude playing the game. And there you go. That's what you get with the deluxe edition. Pretty cool. Alright, so here's the book, Pac-Man Birth of an Icon. Now, first of all, you notice it is very hard bound. It's very sturdy and nice. Would look good on any coffee table adorned with coasters such as these. On the back, you got a nice Pac-Man graphic from the side of the arcade cabinet. Oh, the one downside to this book is that it weighs like 50 pounds. It's very, very heavy, so I think you're going to get your money's worth on this one. Now, I don't want to give away the entire book, but I thought I'd go through a few highlights. First of all, there's a signature that Tim Lapetino left on my book, so thank you so much for that signature, Tim. And if I can sell this book for $1 million with your signature on it, I definitely will do that. First of all, you get a few nice pictures here. You got the Atari 5200 version of Pac-Man. I just played that
basically that same version the other day. Oh, remember the old tabletops? Those are always awesome. Then what you have here is the table of contents. We have Birth of an Icon, Japan and the Rise of Video Games, Finding Pac-Man, Hitting the Market, Coming to America, The Rise of Pac-Man, We Are Pac Family, Pac-Man Fever, and Legacy and Evolution. And then there's even some stuff at the end that's pretty cool. Endnotes, Pac-Man Gameology, image credits. Those are the best, of course. And what's really cool is this Pac-Man's Game Study Manual, Pac-Man's Method, which is actually a book that Iwatani wrote, and it's kind of his notes on the translated into English notes on that book. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So Birth of an Icon kind of goes into the story of Pac-Man and Pac-Man's influence continued as games evolved. Got this really grungy looking side panel here. Chapter 2 is Japan and the Rise of Video Games. So here you've got a picture of Iwatani here, back when the game was originally created as Pac-Man. But this chapter here is more or less the history of Namco and kind of how they got started and everything. And how they had a relationship with Atari Japan back in the day. There's Nolan Bushnell. Namco, the name that brings you most profitable and reliable games. And then Finding Pac-Man is more or less how the game itself got created. Galaxian, I didn't know this, that Galaxian was actually being developed before Space Invaders came out. I figured that a game based around the verb to eat could be fun. And here's the infamous pizza story, Lunch to Remember. Some drawings over here. Here's like the design of how Pac-Man's death sequence happens. Here's some maze designs. I think that's more or less the final maze design there. And as I was reading through this, one of the things that I came across was Iwatani's concern about how when you're playing like a space game like Galaxian or Space Invaders or something like that, how you're constantly under attack and you never really get a break. So he wanted to make the ghosts kind of like back off every so often and make you feel that you actually have a chance in the game. Didn't know this, but Popeye is the inspiration for the power pellets, because you kind of start off as like a weak character, and once you eat the spinach or the power pellet, you become super powered. Here's some Pac-Man designs. Those are nice. And then Chapter 4, Hitting the Market. Very nice picture of the arcade cabinet there. Midway was successful enough to be counted among the big 5 manufacturers of coin-operated machines, all of which were based in the Chicago area. Tim told me that he had a sense of pride in Midway being from Chicago, so I can understand that. The Rise of Pac-Man. Kind of interesting that they have a Galaxian spaceship in Pac-Man. Oh, here's a picture of manufacturing right there. And then when you get to the chapter called We Are Pac Family, Chapter 7, I'm not even really halfway through the book here, and we're already talking about Miss Pac-Man, so there's just so much stuff to this. And here's some of the crazy auto levels here. They look kind of familiar, don't they? Then we're getting into other Pac-Man games like Super Pac-Man and Pac and Pal, Pac-Man and Chomp Chomp, I've never heard of that one, Pac-Land, Pac-Mania. Oh, and that was the Atari version. That's kind of funny. Then we get into Pac-Man Fever, which is got a lot of merchandise in it. Here's the cartoon show. I used to love that show back on Saturday mornings. Buckner and Garcia's Pac-Man Fever. Here's like the home version, the Atari 2600 version over here, which we all love, right? There's Todd Fry. Oh my gosh. Wow. He looked a lot different back then. I remember some of this marketing blitz in a different magazine. Joystick Magazine had some of these pictures in there. Fuzzy Pac-Man. I love some of this artwork from Atari's Pac-Man days. The way he's just kind of running around a maze with legs and arms. Running around eating like red dots. The infamous level 256 glitch. Oh, here we go. Pac-Man in the movie Pixels. Wow, I remember this poster. That's pretty cool poster. Although the movie was, not that great. Here's some Pac merch, shoes and roller skates. Some Pac-Man home games. I remember this board game. Pac-Man spaghetti. Pac-Man pasta. That's awesome. Chapter 9, Legacy and Evolution. It just keeps going. There's just so much Pac-Man stuff. And then here's a Pac-Man Gameology. It doesn't seem to have the Atari 2600 version in here. At least I couldn't find it. but they're showing like the Tengen, is it Tengen or Tengen? I always say Tengen, version of Pac-Mania and Pac-Man over here for the Nintendo Entertainment System, Pac Attack. And then in the far back, you've got this Pac-Man's Game Study Manual, Pac-Man's Method, which it says that it is the first ever translation of Toru Iwatani's book, Pac-Man's Game Study Manual, subtitled Pac-Man's Method. The book was originally published in 2005, and Iwatani reflects on his career at Namco and in his involvement in designing Pac-Man and other Namco games. So, yeah, this is pretty cool that this is included here as well. And I've reached the end of the book, and we've come to page 335 out of this monster book detailing everything you ever wanted to know about Pac-Man.
There you have it. That is my review of Pac-Man Birth of an Icon by Arjan, Terpstra, and Tim Lapetino. You can get it at your favorite bookseller like Amazon. The book by itself is $50. The deluxe version that includes the book and the record and the coin, that's $100. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Oh my gosh. Whew. My arms are killing me. This has got to be the heaviest book I've ever tried to lift.